There's something quite romantic for Aemond in that sense.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
It's like my greatest idol. He's scared of me.
Yeah.
He wants to kill me.
Me?
He wants me. Daemon sent them to kill me. In truth, I am proud. And he considers me such a foe.
All right, Ewan, I'm going to start with you, if that's okay. I want to go so deep on the scene in the brothel, not just because of what is happening, but because of what is happening. Like, he's confessing to all this stuff and showing a very clear desire to be mothered and cared for.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what he's saying and how it's unfolding in that scene.
Someone asked me the other day whether or not they thought that Aemond had like mummy issues, and I was like, well, maybe he just thought that.
He's like, I'll answer that for you.
Maybe he just thought he wanted to be loved by his mum a little bit more.
Yeah.
He never really had that love as a kid. He was always treated as the spare. I think he found a surrogate in the Madame. He found someone who would nurture and kind of fill that void. And there's also like themes with Vhagar. She's an older woman in the dragon kind of roster on that show.
That's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, and so there is something quite interesting there that's quite fruitful for me to explore.
For all the surrogate mothers.
Yeah. And so he's probably closest with the Madame in that episode, and he's got a few things that he wants to get off his chest in that moment, and that's one of them.
He says, I'm honored they came after me. Is he actually, or is there's a kernel of fear in there as well?
There's a kernel of fear.
Yeah.
He really does idolize Daemon in a sense as well, and so to know that Daemon's, painted a target on his back and he wants to get to him, it's like there's something quite romantic for Aemond in that sense.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
It's like my greatest idol. He's scared of me.
Yeah.
He wants to kill me.
Me?
He wants me. He's afraid of me.
As well he should be.
Helaena endures a truly horrific event in the first episode.
They killed the boy.
And then, almost like insult to injury, she can't even grieve the way that a mother would want to grieve.
So unfair.
Oh, it's rude.
Yeah.
To begin with.
When the people share our grief, they draw closer to us.
But I don't want them closer. I don't know them.
Sometimes we have to pretend.
She is such a singular character. We don't always know what she's thinking. We don't always know what's kind of like ruminating. Where do you think she's coming from? Do you think she has a sense that she's being played with, or is she just so deep in her grief that she can't see out of that at that point?
Being played with, meaning
politically,
when
sorry.
Yeah, got you. I think she does understand that. I think that that's slightly the unspoken agreement of the family is that Helaena will do things to make it easier for Alicent. She'll marry Aegon, her brother, who she doesn't even think likes her. She'll stand in front of a huge crowd of people screaming. She'll, go and do this funeral procession, which is literally the antithesis of what she needs in that moment. And I found that really interesting. I think she's really coming to blows with what it means to have her position in the family. Like, does she want the path that her mother's endured? Where would she go if she didn't, if she wanted to get out? It's something that's always been bubbling underneath. But to answer your question about does she know she's being played with, I feel like she does know, and it's almost similar to the situation in episode 1 where they ask her to choose and she just goes down the middle and she goes honest. I think that it's almost the path of least resistance. It's like, how can I disassociate in a way that will get me through this? Which I think a lot of people actually, that is a big method of coping.
Yeah.
I think she's more aware than maybe she seems.
That said, she's so, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, she seems so alone a lot because she is so cerebral and she's so much in her head. And everyone's alone with their grief in this season, but I feel like it's even worse for her. Do you think that's an accurate take?
Yeah, I feel like grief just as a thing is that lonely. I don't know if you can feel like with someone else, even if they're going through the same thing. I think it's really hard. It's like so ungrounding. I think that those kids, she loves them, but also they're literally a part of her routine. And it's one of those things that's just going through it. I don't know. I don't even know what I'd say to her about it.
I don't know what to say to him.
Yeah, I know.
I have brought this interview down.
Got deep. Got deep there.
Perfect world for both of your characters. They're telling me to wrap up. Never mind.
Oh, no way.
Oh, we have one more minute. Perfect world for both of your characters. Ewan, what do you think Aemond, is Aemond I want to be at war? Or do you think he just wants power? What is his ultimate desire?
I think that's what makes the character so compelling. You don't particularly know, and I quite like leaving that out to the audience.
So good.
They can theorize what they like, and I know all the answers. Do it. But yeah, I mean, I think Aemond knows that war is inevitable, and it's either them or us, and Aemond chooses them.
Phia, how about for you?
I think she would wear like her pajamas and not like an uncomfortable dress all the time. Wait, what was the question?
Yeah,
The
no,
ideal
that was
world?
it. Also, the ideal world. Like, what's
Yeah,
her,
I feel like obviously there's a whole emotional world, which I'll also be mysterious and leave it up. But I think pajama-wise, yeah, just like get out of the uncomfortable clothes and just be a bit more like with the bugs.
Love it.
Yeah.